What are you fighting for? So I just came from the gym and I want to tell you about my experience. Now, I promise if you stick with me in this video, it's not going to only be about working out. I'm going somewhere with this, all right? So I get up this morning. I know that I need to get to the gym. I haven't been. I've been on bed rest, getting sick, all kind of crazy stuff. Another story for another time. So I get up. I'm scared. We have this massive body attack class that's like calisthenic, military stuff. It's everything that makes me afraid to work my behind off in the gym, right? So I'm walking up to the door, and I'm like, you got this. You got this. You can do this. You got this. You superwoman. You gonna kill this. Even though on the inside I'm afraid and I'm nervous, right? So I get up in the class and we're doing all this kind of stuff. And if anybody who goes to work out with me, they know it's two things that I hate: lunges and burpees. About 10 minutes into the workout, we're dropping down, hitting these burpees, killing them, right? Then we start running and doing all this stuff, and I'm losing sight. I'm just trying to keep up, but I'm really losing sight of my why. Why am I there? What am I doing? It's almost like I'm just coasting along. Then I had to pause and ask myself a question. When I got down and did those burpees, and I was saying, come on, you got this. Come on, you can do this. And then we start speeding up doing sprints, and the instructor is like, faster, faster, faster. And I kept saying to myself, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So my question to you is, what are you fighting for? What is your why, and what do you want? I'm in that gym and I'm sprinting. And at first it was so superficial. My why was, I want to knock out these 10 pounds so I could look good and slay in my outfit from a girls' night out and all this other kind of stuff. And by the end of the workout, and I'm just busting out all these workouts and I'm breathing hard. Mind you, I haven't done this class in over a year due to all of my restrictions and losing a lot of blood and things like that and being sick. And I'm almost to the end, and I go and I see this girl who I started off this 90-day challenge with, right? And this was about 2 years ago. And we were almost the same size. And now she's cut, slim waist, stuff I used to have, stuff I want to do, and think and really want to aspire to. And our last bit of workout was hitting high knees. And I had gained so much weight that this was exhausting me. I was tired. And in my mind, I was thinking like, man, I've been there before. I've done this before. And sometimes when you fought for something for so long and you find yourself going in cycles, it's hard to do it again. But what I learned is that when people talk about muscle memory and recovery, when I got back in there and I started doing it, I proved to myself that no matter how tired I was and how depressed I had been and how exhausted I was, that if I just committed to going to do it, then it would get done. It didn't matter what pace I did as long as I was committed to seeing it through. When I got up in there and we were sprinting to the left, sprinting to the right, and my body was aching and my legs were burning, I said to myself, you know what, I'm already in this. I might as well finish this. So you might be in a situation right now that you don't want to be in. You don't like those circumstances, but you're already in it. So you might as well finish it. You might as well figure out your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your goals? You might be sitting at a desk and you don't want to be there. You might be accepting that this is where I'm going to be. I'm comfortable with this, but God has so much more. That's what I began to do. I was so tired after going through depression and almost dying and all this kind of crazy stuff popping off in family, friends, all crazy stuff, just really getting to me mentally. And the enemy knows if he can break you down mentally, he can break down everything else. And I just said to myself, maybe I'm just going to stick with being this size. I'm tired of trying, and every time I put forth my best effort and do what I need to do, something happens to knock me back down. And that's how we feel in life sometimes. We forget our why, and we get knocked down, and then we get defeated. But I'm here to tell you to keep going. Ask yourself, what is your why? What are you fighting for? When I got to the end of that workout and I was doing those high knees and I looked at that lady who was where I wanted to be and that I actually had started off with, but I hadn't got there yet. I wasn't mad at her because she got there before me. That's what we like to do. We like to look around and compare and ask God, why me? Why not me? Our journeys are totally different. She might have gone through some things that I can't relate to, and I've gone through some things that she can't relate to that slow me down, but the point is I'm determined to get there. So I linked up with her. The last thing I did in that workout is that I linked up with her. After I kept saying, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I linked up with her. I didn't say a word to her. I started busting out high knees next to her, and she saw me come up to her and she started busting them out harder, and we were each making our legs lift harder, running as fast as we can. And then one thing she said to me, and I almost broke out in tears. She looked at me as I was just busting it out, giving everything I had, and she said, you got this. Man, I almost busted out crying in the middle of the workout, towards the end actually, in front of all those people, because not only did I need to hear that from somebody, but I needed to know that what I was doing and what I was fighting for and my why was relevant. See, I took my why from being surface things like I just want to lose these 10 pounds or I want to look good, or your why might be I want to get a house. Well, once you get in that house, how you going to pay for it? Your why might be you want to send your kids to school. Well, how you going to sustain it and teach them to live for themselves? My why is that I want to live. You might be sitting up going through all kind of stuff, feeling like you stuck at your desk, stuck on your job, stuck in a marriage, stuck in whatever it may be. But you got to change your mindset and ask yourself your why. Your why. And I changed my why from something superficial to I want to live. See, people who are depressed and suicidal, because I've been there, I almost took my life more than once, and I have a very dear friend who took her life where it rocked my world. It isn't that you want to die. You want your circumstances to change. That's what you really want. Nobody's goal in life is to just wake up, live, barely live, and die. So that's not what you want. What you want is a better life. What you want is better things to happen. What you want is to feel better. All right? So let's change our whys. Why are we here? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why do we set the goals we set, and let's stick with them? First, put in your mind that you're going to do it, even if you're afraid to do it, even if you don't feel like doing it, that you're just going to do what you set out to do. Next, ask yourself, what do you want out of this? And your why. And last but not least, link up with somebody like I looked over at that girl who was rocking them abs and rocking that cut. And no, my body might not ever look like hers. I'm not telling you to compare your life, your body, or anything. But what I'm saying is that I linked up with somebody that was already where I wanted to be. Get you a mentor. Listen to people who talking about something. We know not to follow parked cars. We know not to follow people who are not going anywhere. Link up with people that can inspire you and help you to reach your why and what you want in life. So I'll leave you with this. Ask yourself, what are you fighting for? And get to a point to where you get tired of fighting and being defeated, but that when you put in your mind, you're going to do it. And you're actually going to win. You're going to win. You are going to win. Keep fighting. Keep praying. Keep going. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, man. All things. Anything you put your mind to, anything you see can be. What is your why? What do you want? What are you fighting for? And make sure you tell yourself, I want to live. I don't want to just live a life where I accept what I'm doing, where I accept below the bar, below average, because everybody was born with a purpose that you're going to be satisfied with. God has a calling on everybody's life, and it's your option to answer to that call so that you can be chosen. Mull over all of that today. Get inspired, man. This is not the end of the world. This is not the end of your life because you hit some roads and a bump. Keep living and keep going and keep fighting until you ultimately reach your why and your what. This is Kisha Mack, moving from thought to action so you can be empowered. Now let's go. You got this.